Welcome to another episode of the Nothing and Everything podcast, where we talk a little bit of nothing, there's a lot of nothing.
And only a little bit of everything.
Only a little bit of everything.
A lot of nothing, a little bit of everything.
Yeah, this has been a lot of fun, Kyle.
Yep.
I've really enjoyed doing this podcast. Not that we're quitting. I kind of gave the impression that we were about to stop.
Are we done already?
No. No, we have we've signed a contract for a year for this. So.
Yeah. So you have to look forward to that for 50 more weeks.
Yeah, a whole lot of nothing and everything. So we are still learning. We're, learning how to do all this stuff. I'm still learning how to work Instagram and all the social stuff. So all that's good. What is our Instagram? Can you give a little plug for the Instagram?
I can. Instagram, the IG is nothing and everything _ podcast. Yeah. We jumped up quite a bit in followers this week.
Yeah.
So that was good.
It's really cool. Thank you for following and acknowledging that we exist in this podcast.
So more people can just absolutely waste their time.
Yeah. Yep. So it's been fun. Last week we had a couple of sound issues, stuff like that. Still learning how to do some things.
Did anyone notice that? Did anybody say anything to you about that?
Yeah, I had a lot of people say things.
It was pretty obvious.
Yeah. But it was fun. Whatever. It's what it is. We're getting better and all that kind of stuff.
Cut off certain syllables.
Yep. We were cutting off some syllables.
Yeah, it didn't sound good. So hopefully this week audio will be better.
Check.
Sibilance.
Ooh. Sibilance.
That's good. Do you know what that's from?
I don't.
I'm really aging myself. There was
okay.
Wayne's World on Saturday Night Live. Aerosmith was a guest one time.
That's not in the notes.
I know it's not in the notes.
No Wayne's World.
This is why this works so well. Tom Hanks, biggest movie star in the world.
Right.
Probably not then. He played the role of like their roadie, of Aerosmith's roadie, and he said sibilance. I don't know. Every time I do a mic check in like church or something or camp, I always say sibilance.
Wow, I had no idea that.
That's a good little reference.
Yeah,
so go look that up. It's really funny.
That's really good.
That was nothing.
That was nothing. It is good to hear from some of our people who listen.
Yep.
By some, I mean just a couple. We do get some text messages and emails and correspondence from people.
We've broadened outside of our own families, I think.
Yeah, right. Yep. So now it's just a couple of extra people, and evidently I owe an apology to the people who own cats. Cats are not.
I don't think you own an apology, though.
Well, cats aren't completely from the devil.
They are demonic.
Maybe they're from like Gehenna, but not necessarily from the devil himself.
I'm not a cat guy.
I'm not a cat guy either.
Never have been.
Although we did have some cats when Tammy and I first got married.
You owned them?
We owned some cats, and if I tell you the story, I may not be here for the next episode, so I'm not going to tell the story. I'm not telling the story. Yeah, she might not even be happy that I just mentioned that we had cats.
That's funny. I'm the kind, I hate cats, and it's kind of, my kids are like, Dad hates cats, we don't like cats, and, I used to do bad things to them when I was a kid. But,
oh, gosh.
that was, elementary. Then we always had this stray cat that would come up, and I was going down and taking out the American flag, and we would toss the cat up in the air. He was fine because he'd always lay on his paws. But anyway, so but I'm the kind of hates cats, but they always are attracted to me. They can tell that I don't like them, and they're like, "Hey, let me curl up on your lap." So it's weird.
That's terrible.
Tell me about you don't want to tell about it?
No, I'm not going to tell that story.
I'll ask Tammy.
She's not going to tell you the story. She might cut you too.
She might cut me too.
Oh man. So let's do a little bit of recap.
Yep.
From date night. So we talked about date night a couple weeks ago, that it was coming up to 1 episode ago, 2 episodes ago. And we had it last Friday. It was a great night.
Yeah.
I thought everything was really fun. Hershael.
The Hebrew version of Herschel.
He did a fantastic job.
Yeah.
Can you speak to anything that he?
No, it was a really good night. Everybody, I know it was a big team that put it all together. So shout out to everybody who had anything to do with it. Mm-hmm. I mean, I thought the night went really well. My couple of takeaways were he was talking one time about I don't remember the exact context, but he was talking about just how they were both sinners and they still were struggling through, especially early on in their marriage.
Mm-hmm.
And he talked about, maybe it was the thing where he was talking about going to see like the solar eclipse, which I actually remember.
yeah.
I mean, that wasn't early on. That was just a few years ago. And they had like
He kept saying total eclipse.
Yeah.
So you know what was going through my mind the whole time.
Total eclipse of the heart.
And my wife was like, I couldn't
Total
stop singing that song. Do you know who sang that? Was it Taylor Dane?
No, it wasn't Taylor Dane.
Oh. Man.
Heart, maybe? We're going to need somebody to look that up.
Heart?
I don't think it was Heart.
I think it's Total Eclipse of the Heart.
Yeah. But not Heart,
But not Heart.
the female band.
We need to know.
Taylor Dane. You just made a Taylor Dane reference. I mean, Wayne's World and Taylor Dane.
Sheena Easton, maybe?
Jody Watley.
Somebody.
Yeah.
The
viewership is
Somebody
like,
tell us who wrote or who performed the song Total Eclipse.
Somebody
of the
comment
Heart.
on Instagram, and
Yeah,
we need to know.
We need to know. We need to know. Watch it be like some kid who just Googles it and like, hey, here's your answer, you bunch of weirdos.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
Anyway.
But yeah, he was talking about
Austin,
like how
Austin just did it in the corner. He's like, who is it?
oh,
Who?
ain't nobody. That was her. She was a one and done.
Bonnie Tyler? I know Bonnie Raitt. Raitt?
No, not Rat.
Raitt?
That's Round and Round.
Wow. Anyway.
8-hour argument in the car is where we were.
Bonnie, great job. This is a great song. Anyway, go ahead.
So that caused Carrie and I to have a conversation on the way home, because like that's like a big deal. Like I was like, I don't even know that I could be in an argument angry for that long. And so it's like, hey, what's the maddest you'd ever been at me in 20 years? And she thought about it for a second. She was like, yeah, I remember that one time. This would have been probably 12, 13 years ago. Something happened in California when we were living there, and I didn't go crazy. And I don't even remember what it was on, but I apparently had kind of nickel and dime a bunch of stuff on the credit card. Like I was on my own little spinning
Just a
spree.
high roller.
I don't remember what it was. And I didn't tell her, or like I thought I told her, but I didn't, or I didn't tell her. I don't remember. It wasn't anything.
You're buying some Gucci pants, some Gucci leather.
Pants, some Gucci leather pants.
Versace.
And so she was like, I was really mad at you for a long time. Like I didn't even want to be in the house because like, and I'm the terrible because I was like, oh yeah, I vaguely remember that.
Oh my gosh.
But then the other one, like, involves you. Like, you didn't get me in trouble.
I was like, what did I do?
Well, I had forgotten about this too.
Mm.
So maybe 5 or 6 years ago, we were in Lynchburg, Virginia. We'd gone to like a ministry fair to try to find some interns at Liberty.
Yeah.
Do you know where I'm going?
Yes.
And so,
this is gold.
What had happened was
we
were doing stuff all day long, and then we went out to dinner. Remember, we took some students out to dinner, and then we got back to the hotel, and there was some talk about like maybe we should go to a movie or do something because it was kind of early. It was like 8:30 or 9.
It was early for them,
right?
Yes.
And so we went back and then didn't think about it and just went to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
You and I are in the same. Because I was thankful that I have a witness.
Yes.
But if I ever travel, I'm always shoot a text or a quick FaceTime or call and just be like, hey, babe, I'm going to sleep, or, don't forget to lock the doors, something, always.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't that night.
Because we were
and
pretty
do you
tired.
remember what happened?
Well, we drove up. That day, so it was like, 3 hours in the car.
I appreciate you trying to.
That's a long time.
3 hours.
Kind of wears you out, and then all day just praying and asking the Lord to show us which intern we need to, so just really just fervently, Yeah, and then I remember your phone was buzzing a little bit.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, whatever.
We just fell asleep. And I never told her, hey, good night, going to bed.
Let's clean this up a little bit.
Yeah.
We were sharing a room in a hotel. You were in your own bed. I was in my own bed. And fell
asleep.
Yeah,
absolutely.
You made it sound like we were like watching some Netflix or something.
No,
on the couch
not at all. Not at all. But
the phone was buzzing.
The phone was buzzing, apparently, but I sleep through just about anything.
Yeah. I heard it a little bit, but didn't think anything of it because my phone buzzes all night. I just turn my Do Not Disturb on or whatever.
And the next thing I know, it's like 1:30, and there's at the door.
Right. There's a banging on the door, and I'm thinking, what on earth is happening?
Yeah. But I mean, she told me later she called family in town. She saw that my find my friend or find my phone was at the hotel, which should have been clue number one that we were at the hotel, like asleep.
Carrie.
Yeah. But then like she like called them. I think she had even called like hospitals. Like is any like John Doe's it's got a tag on his toe or anything, and then she finally called like the hotel manager, like because she couldn't go to sleep like without knowing that I was alive, and then she wanted to know I was alive. Then she wanted to kill me.
But all I remember is waking up to like the knocking on the door, and the lady's like, "Are you Kyle? Your wife's on the phone.
Yeah,
she's been trying to call you." And I'm like, "What?
Oh,
What is happening?"
he's gonna
Like,
get.
you're so dead.
He's gonna get.
You are
his
so
butt
dead.
whooped.
That was
But
funny.
she was mad at me for a while for that one, and I was just like, it wasn't intentional.
Yeah,
Just went to
it
sleep.
just happened. Yeah.
So that's the biggest argument. The other one I thought was pretty interesting. That do you know what I'm talking about? Like, it wasn't the most important thing, but it was a funny thing that Herschel said.
Which point?
So he talked about, and I was like, I relate to this. He talked about waking up earlier than his wife, and his wife gets up, and then he would greet her on the stairs and make her coffee and all this stuff. And then it got a little like, oh, where's he going with this?
Where are you going with this?
He talked about a little like bottom tapping or something like that. Bottom patting.
Yes. I do.
That was
remember
funny.
that.
I mean, I was just like,
It was
oh,
funny.
Man, I didn't see that one coming.
I didn't either. You know, because he's,
He's what?
I don't know. Let's move on. Date night was a great time. Glad
I think
you guys
that
were
would
there.
made a couple people uncomfortable.
Yeah, you think so?
Well, I just don't think they saw it, and then they don't know what to do.
Yeah, right. I mean, but
I was like, that's cool.
hey,
You do you, Herschel.
it was
But
a great
overall,
night.
it was a really good night. I mean,
Yeah.
like the practical piece, hearing from he and his wife talking about that, the
My
chairs and the couches and
my
everything.
big
was looking
takeaway
good.
was watching a certain person.
Who will remain
He will
anonymous.
remain nameless. Watching him sit on that chair. Yeah, it was. I was like texting Austin, like, "Hey, get some good pictures of him sitting in the chair because we have to use that later."
It was like
So-
a big chair
Mm-hmm.
and a little
Yeah,
guy just
yeah.
kind of hanging out
Like
there.
feet, like dangling. Like yeah,
Whee!
it was funny. We're gonna get fired.
It was a great night though. Like,
It was a good time.
I'm looking forward to anything that like helps our marriage and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That was good. There's a lot of
Yeah.
people there. It was fun.
A lot of people there. Speaking of marriage and stuff and dating and all that stuff, do y'all celebrate Valentine's Day? You know, there are some people who don't celebrate Valentine's Day, which I think is a little bit weird. So I'm like,
Well, it's some cultural materialistic.
right, yeah.
Capital.
So,
I don't know
what?
what
So what?
Well, I know. Well, just let your wife know that you don't care.
I mean,
I mean, we celebrate in a sense of like it's. I got a wife, 5 daughters,
oh gosh.
so there's a lot of pressure.
Do you get all of them something, and do you like take them all out on a date? Kind
I
of
don't take them all out on a
Yeah.
date. Well, I mean, we might go out to eat, but I don't even think that's the plan this year. But I got them all little stuff that's kind of
Yeah.
like for them.
That's good.
But it's nothing like over the top. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a thing of
Yeah.
candy and a couple little small things.
Yeah, we went to dinner last week. And, I don't like crowds, and like it's weird because I lead worship in front of 1,000 people every week, right?
Yeah.
But
Because they're out there.
they're out there.
The germs are out there.
Yeah, right. It's not. I don't know what it is, but anyway, so I don't like being in like a crowded room, feeling like I'm like all smashed up. I just don't like that.
Yeah.
So, and I don't like to wait. I think it's the waiting thing. Like if we're all going someplace and I'm waiting in a line,
Right.
I don't like that. So anyway, I don't like to go out. Like I wouldn't go out on Valentine's Day. I would go
not a
out
good idea.
another day, and that's just kind of my thing. So, but we always celebrate early. But we went to a restaurant actually with Austin and his wife Ashley. We went to a restaurant last week, little Korean barbecue,
Nice.
and they bring you the food, and then you cook it yourself. Which these restaurants,
So hopefully you're just paying for the food, the price of the
it's a
food.
racket. Like you're just paying for the table. Hey, can I bring some stuff in with me? Like just bring some Harris Teeter bags and
Seriously.
bags from Aldi and just cook my own, whatever. But it was a really good restaurant. But you have like this. It looked like a hubcap.
How do you cook it?
It's like a hubcap in the middle. It's not. It's like some sort of stove or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what it looked like.
Like some spinners,
I got
some rims.
Yep. Yeah.
Like
Anyway.
the Lazy Susan, you can spin it around.
Right. But it cooks it while it's going. So anyway, so we did that. Man, it was really good food.
Yeah.
We had a great time. Yep.
Once again, double dating. 20 years later.
Double dating 20 years later.
You go back and watch episode 1 to find out about that.
Yeah, and here's what's funny. Okay, so Austin, he runs all the technical stuff here at the Mallow Creek campus.
Yep.
And one day, his dad's birthday popped up on my Facebook, and so I looked at it and I was like, "Oh, I'm 6 months older than Austin's dad."
Oh.
So I was like, "What on earth?" And so. Like, it's funny because, like, I'm friends with Kevin.
Yep.
And Kevin's awesome. I love to hang out with him.
But
And it's like, but I hang out with your son all the time, too, because, we work together.
You feel like, hey, he's so much older. Nope.
Well, he's got that,
We're in that
sweet
category.
beard, too. Yeah, I don't really, I can't grow a beard.
No, you can't.
I can't grow a beard.
What does it look like?
If I grew a beard?
Yeah.
Think like, you remember that movie Golden Child with Eddie Murphy, like a long time ago?
Yep.
Remember that one scene where they walk into like this little temple and all those like kung fu or Tibetan, what they're all like sitting around there? That's what I would look like. Just scraggly
face of hair.
Yeah, and it would just look terrible.
I think you should do it.
Grow it
Just
out?
let it go. No,
No.
it'd be terrible.
No, it would look so bad. And I've got like some white hair growing in, which
I
is
can,
kind of.
I can. When the light hits it just right now.
Oh, what are you? What are you?
Oh, I got a
saying?
lot. No, I got plenty.
I mean, right?
But I've had plenty for a while. So.
Yeah.
I've embraced it.
I don't like if I start now, I might be able to have a conversation with someone like the No Shave November thing. If I literally start
You
February,
need like a 9-month lead up.
I do, and it's not going to be good. Like it's just like real patchy.
Ugh.
But anyway.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that then.
Yeah, that's not in the notes either. Let's talk about the Super Bowl. Were you happy with the Super Bowl?
I was happy. I was happy with the outcome. I had been saying, I hope the Rams win.
Yeah.
I wanted Cooper Kupp to have a good game.
Mm-hmm. Oh, how about? I mean, he had a great game.
Yeah, he ended up
MVP.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and I thought, man, it would be good to see Stafford, going through 12 or 13 years.
Okay. Let's get past all this.
Yeah.
You know what I want to know.
Which part do you want to know?
I envision you at your house with all those girls in your house, and you stand up and start doing the crip walk whenever
the crip walk.
Whenever Snoop and Dre came on.
My kids.
Is that what happened?
It was pretty similar. Me and my wife, it was. It kind of took us back. But when you're our age and our life stage or whatever, you feel like you're not that old. We feel like that was just a couple years ago, and then we're like, that was 25 years ago.
Right.
That was a long time ago.
Yes.
That was like high school or whatever.
Yeah.
And so my kids were like, these dudes are old. I mean, let's be honest though, a couple of them looked old. And I don't know if it was just a moment. I mean, Mary J, I thought looked kind of old.
Yeah.
Dre, he felt like he was moving kind of slow.
I started thinking if they would have hung me upside down like 50 Cent, I would have passed out. Like he's just hanging there. I'm like, is something like what is happening with the screen right now? Like, is he really upside down? And then they flipped him over, and he didn't move much after that. And I was thinking, yeah, he's got a migraine or something right now.
There was a lot of stuff going on about.
There's a lot of stuff going on.
50 he wasn't quite as in shape as he was a while back.
I didn't know he was going to be there, so.
I didn't. I could have done without him.
Yeah.
The rest of it I thought was, I liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah, my kids are like, why do you guys get so excited when all these old people come on stage?
Right.
And I'm like, well, if you know, you know. So.
If you know, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I thought overall it was good.
Yep.
I think commercials are dead. Did you have any good?
I felt like
I felt like 10, 15 years ago. I was like, man, commercials they're gonna be great, and I felt like now they're just kind of like, you just spent $15 million for that, and I don't even know what
it was
the
all
product
crypto.
was. There was a bunch of crypto
it's
stuff.
like,
how about the one that was like, boop, like?
Okay, so I was watching. I think it's like the Army-Navy game or something like that, football game. I know I'm just going way back here, but on the jumbotron, they had this little thing bouncing around like that.
Yep.
And like when it would come close to the corner,
it's that scene from The Office where they're all sitting there. Do you remember that scene?
I don't remember.
Well,
that
I
scene.
mean, we've all had the TVs like in school where the DVD sign goes around.
Yeah.
There was a scene in The Office, one of their openers, where they were all kind of waiting for it to hit the exact corner.
Yeah.
So that's exactly what everybody thought of when that happened.
Well, so at this football game, that's what happens. As soon as it gets down to the corner, everyone just like went crazy. And so I was kind of thinking, oh, this is it. And then someone at my house was like, oh, it's a QR code. I was like, I'm not scanning that. This is how
one of my kids jumped up immediately and was like, "Well, what is that?"
This is how old school I am. Like, don't scan it.
I know
don't
you're
scan it.
Don't
touch
touch a virus.
They're gonna take all your money. So I was like, I'm not scanning that thing.
That could be true.
Well, it was crypto.
It was some crypto thing, yeah.
Yeah. So you can,
which I don't understand. We should do a whole episode on what I don't understand about crypto.
We should do an episode. Just call it. This is the I don't understand.
Here's the things that I don't understand.
Mm-hmm. Maybe next time.
That'd be good.
Yeah. Or we just mix it into every one of these because there's so many things
that we don't understand.
Yeah. NFT. You know what an NFT is?
I've heard of it.
I thought it was a group. Wasn't there a group called NFT?
NFT?
Or is that NF?
There's an NF like rapper.
It's the same thing. He's the same person. He's crypto.
He's just with a T on it.
He sells Bitcoin. Yeah. So, what kind of food did y'all eat at the Super Bowl? Because this is a big deal too, you know.
It was a big deal. So it was just my family. So we just kind of got stuff that everybody liked. I ate a whole thing of like shrimp cocktail because nobody in my family likes it. So I just ate pretty much the whole thing.
Yeah.
Ate me like Doritos. So just straight up nacho cheese Doritos.
There was a Doritos commercial that was pretty funny.
Which one?
Where that lady was climbing the tree and the bags fell.
I didn't see that one.
And then like some animals were eating it. It's like a flaming hot.
Oh, I didn't see that one.
Was it Doritos? Yeah, Doritos and like hot Cheetos or something.
Oh.
I don't know. That's just.
But it wasn't anything major. What about you?
So I smoked some wings and some like chicken tenders and some sausage and stuff like that.
You on that smoking tip?
You want
to smoke?
You want to smoke? I love smoking food. So it's just fun, man. I just love it.
How long does that take?
Well, I
feel like if you're just smoking it, it takes a little longer.
Probably 3 hours or so for wings.
Yeah.
Low heat, slow and low. That is the tempo. Who's that?
I don't know. Tell me.
It's the Beastie Boys. You remember the Beastie Boys?
Oh yeah. What song?
Slow and Low.
Oh, what album?
I don't know.
Check Your Head.
License to
License
Ill.
to Ill. That's a good one.
I don't know.
That's
Let us know, kids.
Slow and Low.
Yeah.
But like the smoking thing, like does it taste better or like does it stay smoky? Is that what you're going for?
So it's not like super smoky, but that smoky flavor is just really good.
Yeah.
So now my problem is that's all I can taste. I had 3 different kinds of flavors in the wings, right? And
is that because you put sauce, like different sauces on them?
Sauce, rub, stuff like that. I had one that was like maple syrup and brown sugar.
Oh.
You put some brown sugar on stuff, man. It's really good. I had another one that was like buffalo, so it was a little bit warm. I had another one. Oh, I used this sauce called the Gospel.
Oh.
From Meat Church.
I don't know that.
It
sounds
good.
blasphemous, but
no, I mean it's good. But the problem, okay, so I had COVID last September.
Okay.
I had the COVIDs.
Yep.
Number 19.
You on the tail end of that Delta variant, maybe?
Probably so.
Yeah.
And it wasn't terrible for me. Fortunately, I'm very thankful for that. But
I remember because I drove by your house one day and you were sitting in the driveway. Do you remember that?
That's right. That's right.
Just like, hey, we're spending time outside.
Getting some vitamin D.
Yeah, it was good.
So, but the long effect of COVID was my smell and my taste is still all messed up. Still. So, like, I can taste most things but the flavor is not near as strong as it used to be. So if I ate like some salsa or something like hot or spicy, I can feel the heat in it, but I can't
you don't
really
actually
taste it.
Yeah.
So
so that mess up your wings and and stuff?
Kind of, sort of. So I just can't. I can't smell it very well, or it smells. It smells like a certain thing. Like the other day, we're riding home and there was a skunk on the side of the road, and it was somewhat fresh. So, and you can smell it for like a mile away, right? So we drive by, and I see it, and I'm like waiting. I actually see the skunk, and I'm waiting for the smell to hit me. And then, like, I had a strong smell of coffee.
Oh.
Coffee. And I was like, oh, man, that's weird.
Skunk smelled like coffee.
That skunk ingested some Counterculture or some Stumptown or some of these other.
Some Black Rifle.
This is another word. Just
looking for sponsors.
Yeah, we're trying to get some sponsorships here. So anyway, so I had a real strong smell of coffee, and it was odd. But then my coffee smells
weird. Like skunk.
Well, no,
that would be terrible.
Yes, that would be terrible. I still like coffee, but it does have a weird flavor and smell to me. The smell is messing me up. But anytime I smell smoke, if I walk by like a car and the exhaust is like pumping,
that's not a good smell.
It smells like pulled pork. Every
weird.
Single time. Austin and I were walking across the stage here at the Malloy Creek campus, and Rick was drilling like a hole through something, and there was like some like through some wood. So there was a little bit of smoke,
weird.
A smoky whatever. And I walked by and I was like, Austin, is there like pulled pork sitting back here? Like some barbecue?
It's like, is there a pit under the stage?
Yeah, right. And so any kind of smoke, I mean, even like cigarette smoke smells like pulled pork. So
don't take it up.
That's my.
So I lost my sense of smell. That's how I knew that I had COVID. This is like July. So we were eating hot wings. I was with a bunch of guys from church, and that's how I was like, these wings they have no flavor.
Yeah.
And I was like, there's not only no flavor, there's nothing. And that's how I was like, oh crud, I think I must have.
And you were with all those guys?
Yeah, I was with a whole bunch of guys that had to take a week off of work.
You get quarantined and you get a quarantine.
But my smell and taste was gone for like probably about 10 days, like completely gone. And even my kids one day, they were like, Dad, we don't believe you. And so they went to the refrigerator and made a concoction of like just gross stuff. And I was like,
you just keep gross stuff in your fridge?
Well, I mean, like stuff that doesn't go together, and you just mix it all together, and they're like, oh, Dad, take this. And I was just eating it, and they were dying. I didn't taste a thing. But then it came back like 10 days later.
Oh.
But my daughter she had COVID after Thanksgiving, but she swears that everything smells like minestrone soup. It's a very specific thing.
What is minestrone soup?
It's a minestrone soup. It's like a vegetable, but it has like pasta in it. I don't know. I had opened a can of it a while ago, and she walks around now and is like, everything smells like minestrone.
Oh, that's crazy.
Like you, everything smells like pulled pork.
Everything smells like pulled pork.
Pulled pork would be better than
pulled pork would be better. There's a friend of mine that was talking about different like home remedies to get your
smell back,
your smell and taste back. And so one of them is like some orange peels. Like you gotta boil them until it like you boil it down and burn it or something.
That's
and
a witchcraft.
Drink it. Yeah, it sounds weird. Another one, the weirdest one though was, and you know who you are. They do this tapping thing where you can like tap the back of your head or whatever.
I think I heard somebody talk about that.
Don't be mad at me. But yeah, so that was weird. Or you like hold your tongue and thump the back of your head. It sounds weird. I don't know that it worked or not.
If you lost your smell, or like if you're like the way yours has kind of changed, like if you could pick a smell, what smell do you want? What are your like favorite smells?
I mean,
this sounds like a good way to wrap this up. What are your favorite smells?
Right, yeah. Pulled pork is not bad.
Yeah.
I mean,
it could be worse.
It makes me hungry all the time, though. I'm like,
it's better than a minestrone.
It's better than
seriously, you're like,
I'm like, man, I feel like eating right
seriously.
now. Yeah. So yeah, pulled pork's not bad. It's not a terrible way to.
I think I would want like suntan lotion. Like
what?
Like a Hawaiian tropic, like cocoa smelling. It makes me feel like I'm at the beach or at the pool all the time. I love that smell. That's weird, but it's true.
That's weird. That's really weird.
That's probably my favorite
put
smell.
Do you put suntan lotion on like during the day, like just?
I mean, like if it's gonna be outside, like but I'm gonna be out at the beach for a long time. I'll put some stuff on.
Yeah, I use sunscreen.
I like cut grass. Use sunscreen.
I do.
That's good. It's helpful. You gotta take care of your skin.
Right.
I like the smell of cut grass. I don't know. I think that it just takes me back to my childhood.
Oh, yeah. No, that's all terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that sounds
better
terrible.
Than the skunk.
It is better than a skunk. That's for sure. Well,
that's true.
Well, good. Well, look, we have the opportunity for this podcast to potentially grow and to...
We'd love for it, too.
Yeah, I'd love for it, too. So maybe some shameless plugs here or there. Maybe you can... like the next time you're giving announcements, you can mention something.
How would that
That'd
go?
That'd be kind of funny.
I said this in announcements yesterday. I was talking about the family scavenger hunt, and I said, hey, if you have a middle schooler or a high schooler or an elementary or that's not really a word, like an elementary kid, elementary student. That was terrible. And I was like,
I'm waiting for the plug.
But I'm just saying, that's what I actually did yesterday.
Oh, okay.
But I could say something like, you know, when you feel like you have nothing, Jesus can be your everything. Just throw in a little, like, did he just? What would that maybe sound like from
I don't know. Maybe like, I don't know if I'm, you know, in the middle of a song or something, just kind of shout it out. We are nothing. You are everything.
Underscore podcast.
Underscore podcast.
So if we've successfully wasted more of your time, let your friends know about it.
And we've done a great job with that.
Yep.
So thanks for tuning in this morning, today, whatever time, I guess, you're listening.
You can listen to it anytime.
And you can listen to it anywhere. Can we tell them, like, Apple,
Spotify. There's that other one that I don't know what it is.
YouTube.
It is on YouTube.
Yeah.
I know that one.
The film crew of YouTube is here right now filming this.
Seriously.
So
pretty unbelievable.
Yeah, it's great.
Send out a group of YouTube.
So check us out. We hope you enjoy the show, and I guess we'll see you next time.
See you next week.
Yep. See ya.